Hello, hey, thank you very much for tuning into my channel. I greatly appreciate all those that take time out of their day to watch one of my videos. What I've got for you today is a bill that is making its way through our U.S. government. It's called House Bill 5383, the New Way Forward Act. This bill has been sponsored by anti-American individuals like Ilhan Omar, Ocasio-Cortez, Rashida Tlaib, and there's a list of other Democrats that have signed on board this bill. This bill, to me, is one of the most dangerous bills that I believe has come into our country of late. And I strongly believe this bill has the potential to ultimately destroy the United States as we know it. What this bill is immigration reform. And I understand we need to fix the way we deal with those individuals who declare asylum. The way the asylum law needs to be done is the people that are requesting asylum should be in an adjacent country to the United States. In other words, Mexico or Canada. They shouldn't be coming from China or somewhere else. The whole purpose of asylum is to seek help from a nearby country, and that's the way it should be. Not taking people declaring asylum from Argentina or Honduras or Nicaragua. They should be only from Canada and Mexico. So that's the first step to fixing our asylum law. Second step, we shouldn't just take them into the country, they declare asylum, we grant them a court date, and then release them into the general population and then never to see them again. Of the people who come into the United States illegally, and we know based off some current statistics, the current numbers that have come out, is that 76% of these people never show up to the court hearings. And so we're taking in all these people, and 76% of them never have their court hearing, and they continue to live here illegally. And this New Way Forward Act is not how we go about fixing these problems. So I'm going to give you some highlights to this act, and one of the highlights to this act is that they are wanting to eliminate detention centers. I believe personally they want to see no detention centers at all. They are definitely going to get rid of any private detention center. The wording is that the detention centers must be owned and operated by the Department of Homeland Security. And so those people are to be released and put in what they're referring to as a community-based program. So we take in people that are here illegally, and instead of holding them in a detention center, they want them released into the general population and put into some sort of community-based monitoring system. The big problem with that is we know already that 76% of them never show up to the court case. So how is releasing them to the general population, putting on some sort of community-based program, going to get them to come back for their court hearing? I don't see that happening, and I just see it's going to be an increase in the amount of illegals that are living in our country. Another aspect to this bill is the fact that they're not wanting them in detention. So let me read this next part, so bear with me. It states, the fact that an alien has a prior conviction or a criminal charge pending against the alien may not be the sole factor to justify continued detention of the alien. So it's quite clear that even though they might be a criminal or have committed crimes in the past, is not grounds to detain these people. And in fact, this bill eliminates the part of our current immigration policy of mandatory detention. So in our current policy, there's certain things that trigger the government to detain an illegal alien. And those are now gone. They've removed those. They've also taken out, when somebody in the past has come here illegally, they get caught, they go through a court system, and they are sent back to the foreign country, and there's a paper related to that. And if they enter back in, then those charges would be reapplied to them. And then under this bill, that is also now gone. So it doesn't matter if they came across the border illegally. We don't care any longer. That's what this bill is basically stating. The bill is also taking it a step further in the fact that coming across the border is no longer a crime. They're removing that. Coming across the border is no longer considered an illegal act. and therefore they can't be detained. So they can come across the border and they can't be detained. They should be released into the community-based programs. And when I was reading through the bill, I didn't really see any good definitions for what these community-based programs are, how they're to be policed, so to speak, and how those programs are going to get these people to show back up to their court hearings. This bill does serious damage to our immigration policy. In other words, it basically is no longer making people coming across our border an illegal alien. It's as if they just want to have the border opened and rip it out. If they're really wanting to instill the new world order where the United States is no longer, and we're just one big world global system. And that's what they're wanting. They no longer want nationalism. This bill destroys that. And on top of that, this bill also has language that allows people who have been deported on or after April 24th, 1996, it allows them to request to have their case reopened. And it looks to me that under this bill, the reopening of their cases means that the current act of the bill, the one that is written here, has to be applied to those cases. So in other words, if you were deported for committing a crime, doesn't matter. That wasn't grounds for you to be deported and you get to come back into the U.S. This bill also seems to support the concept that if you are here illegally and you commit a crime, including felonies, those are not grounds for deportation any longer. It just is nuts. It's as if they want to open the door for crime and for criminals to come into our country. In our current immigration system, you would not be allowed to immigrate if you had a criminal record. They've removed that. They don't care if you're a criminal. You would just be allowed to come into the U.S. I believe what the purpose and aspect of this bill is to get an influx of immigrants, and it allows the Democrats to say, look what we did for all of you. We took out all these laws that would have banned you from coming into our country. We've removed the grounds that would send you home if you had committed a crime. So come on in, see what we've done, and vote for us. And I believe that's ultimately what they want. They want to drum up their voting base so that you'll never see another Donald Trump as president. You will never see another Republican sitting in a chair someplace in our government system. In other words, it's a way to get rid of any conservatives in our political environment. They want full Democrat control, full socialist control, and ultimately this world order. And in the words of Abraham Lincoln, and I'm not going to quote it correctly, but he basically says that the America will never be destroyed unless it's destroyed within. And I believe that's what they're ultimately doing. They're trying to destroy America from within so that America will no longer be a country of freedom, no longer be the country that we know it today. And that's what this bill is, and that bill is dangerous. And I want to know one thing, and how is this bill protection of U.S. citizens and protection of the community when we're not going to deport illegal aliens who have committed crimes and felonies, serious crimes? We're not going to deport them. We're going to keep them in. We're going to allow people to come in from foreign countries who committed serious crimes in their previous countries. And we're just going to say, open borders, come on in, make yourself at home. We're not going to deport you. Just come across the border. My understanding of this bill and the way I read it is you could basically say, let's rip down all the walls because they no longer matter. You can cross anytime, anywhere you want to. And that's what this bill is doing. And how is that keeping America the United States? And to me, a country is not a country without a border. And therefore, our immigration laws need to be just as they are, but fixing some of them, like removing the anchor baby problem, fixing the people wanting to declare asylum. Those aspects need to be fixed. But our immigration policy needs to be as it was when my dad's family immigrated to the country from Germany. And it was a long process, and they ultimately became U.S. citizens, and that's the way it needs to be. Not just this open borders, let everybody flood into the country, and we don't care about your background or whatever you've done in your past. Doesn't matter. And if you commit a crime here, even though you're here illegally, it doesn't matter either. And we've already seen this aspect to our own law enforcement here in Portland, where Sheriff Mike Reese has a history of releasing illegal aliens who committed serious felonies. After they spent their time in prison, he releases them into the general population instead of turning them over to ICE for deportation. He protects them from being deported. And how does that protect our community when oftentimes these illegal aliens who've committed these felony acts go out and commit more? And then we end up with situations like Kate Steinle, where she gets killed by an illegal alien who committed felonies, but wasn't deported because he was released into the general population for sanctuary. And speaking of sanctuary, this bill is basically makes the United States a sanctuary country where we have all these protections on illegal aliens. And it also, this bill says that local law enforcement, your state police, your city police, or county police, your sheriffs, cannot work with the federal government, ICE, Customs Service, to detain illegal aliens or to investigate illegal aliens. They're not allowed to do that. They're not allowed to access the National Crime Information Center into that database to see if they actually have any warrants if they're an illegal alien. They're not allowed to do that. So anything involving illegal alien, the local law enforcement is not allowed to do. They can only arrest them and detain them on the crime that they have committed, not the fact that they're an illegal alien. And they're not allowed to work alongside ICE to gather these people who've committed these crimes. How does that protect America and American citizens? My answer is it doesn't. And it ultimately destroys our country. And I believe this bill, should it become enacted, would ultimately destroy the country from within. So my call for you today is to contact your U.S. congressman or congresswoman, to contact your senators, and to request that they would vote down this bill. It hasn't reached the Senate yet, so my hope is Mitch McConnell will not ever allow this bill to even see the light of day in the Senate. But let's not even get there. Let's stop it before it gets voted on by our U.S. House of Representatives. I have no hope with Blumenauer. I'm positive Blumenauer is going to jump on board this thing in a heartbeat. And so therefore my contacting him has no grounds and won't reach anything. I can't get the guy unelected from office because I live in such a heavily Democratic region that these Democrats stay in power no matter how ridiculous their bills are, no matter how much they want to screw up America and take away our rights. They get to stay in office. So my call is for those of you who live in a part of the country where a Democrat could potentially be removed from office, you need to contact them and say, do not vote on this bill. I'm also asking you to spend some time and look up this bill. It's about 25 pages. It's kind of long, but look it up, read through it, and you see what you think about this bill. Again, it's House Bill 5383, the New Way Forward Act. Google it, dogpile it, whatever your search engine is, look it up and read it. I highly recommend you do that. And then contact your senators and tell them, don't vote for this bill. Let's protect America as we know it. Yes, we need to fix our immigration laws as the ones I've discussed, but we need to keep our immigration in such a way that our borders are sealed and they cannot come in without coming in properly and going through proper paperwork. And that's what needs to take place. So there you have it. Those are my thoughts. Put your comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And thank you for taking time to watch one of my videos. God bless and have a wonderful day. Hey, thank you very much for tuning into the Teal Jack channel. It means so much to me. If you like my content, I just ask that you would hit like and subscribe. If you click on this link up here, it will send you right to my subscribe page. And please take a look at some of my other videos. I'll post them here down below here. And thanks once more for tuning in. I'm so appreciative of the people that spend time to watch my videos. Take care. God bless. Have a wonderful day.